Yo, what's the dealio, man? Listen, in this video, I got a banger for you, right? We're gonna talk about six stocks that can make you a lot of money. All right, six stocks that can make you a lot of money. All right. So right now, um, we got a lot of stuff going on in the Middle East, right? We got Israel, we got Iran, we got a war, like a semi-war going on right now. We got other countries stepping in, right? We got over the weekend right now, what's going on? We got countries attacking other companies. One not companies, countries, right? Other countries saying they're gonna step in, all this other stuff, right? So with that being said, that means that certain stocks are going to be affected by these things, right? And a we saw an indication of what this might be on Friday. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all six stocks that could go up when a lot of stocks are going down. Okay, and also when there's a lot of uncertainty going on in the world. Okay, we talking about global. We ain't even talking about the U.S. stock market, right? Iran and Israel, both those countries have allies and enemies and stuff like that. So you got to understand the geopolitical stuff that's going on right now, okay? And what's going to be affected. So I got six stocks right here. Now, the first stock I'm going to say is going to be right here, Exxon Mobil, okay? Ticker symbol is XOM. Now look at this chart. On Robinhood, I have the 1 week, okay? Over the last week, look what it did. Exxon shot up by 7%, right? 7%. This is an oil stock, okay? This is an oil stock. And look at it, in the last week, it shot up, right? It shot up on Friday, right? Thursday and Friday. Really, this whole week it's been doing this thing, but Thursday and Friday it went up. Now, why did it go up? It went up because oil prices are starting to go up. Now, oil prices last week went from Thursday to Friday, they went from 60, it was like $66 a barrel of oil to $73. That's a 7% increase in a 24-hour period. And ExxonMobil shot up. So if we have more tensions in the Middle East and oil prices continue to go up, what's going to happen? ExxonMobil is going to start going up as well. So we got ExxonMobil. The next stock is going to be OXY, right? This is another stock that's in the same sector, right? Occidental Petroleum. So look at this one. In the past week, it's up 9.9%. Okay, 9.9%. This looks just like ExxonMobil, right? End of the week, it had a spike. Same reason. Crude oil prices are going up. All right. The next stock I'm gonna give you guys is Chevron, ticker symbol CVX. Same exact thing. Over the past week, it's up 4.1%, but it's the same thing. End of the week, it shot up. So if we see crude oil prices go up, inching towards $80, $90, $100, then we could see these stocks skyrocket, okay? And when you look at war, there's always industries that are affected by the war. And then if we start to see like a ceasefire, and then things start to come down and they start to iron out, then these same stocks are going to start to cool off and they're going to drop. So you could trade these stocks to the downside once this dies down, if it does. But also, if it doesn't die down and it ramps up, that means that these stocks are only going to start going up because those commodities on oil are going to be going up as well. Okay? So those are three stocks right there. You got ExxonMobil, OXY, and also CVX. Okay? Now the next stocks we're going to look at is going to be Inphase, ticker symbol is ENPH. Now look at this over the last week. Okay? It has had some volatility, but it's up 10% over the last week. Over the last week, the stock is up 10%. Okay? This is an energy company. I used to sell solar. I know exactly what Inphase is. Inphase has inverters, okay? So when we sold solar, we would sell a solar system. Got the solar panels on top of the house, right? And then it's connected to the inverter. What the inverter does is when the sun hits the solar panels, the energy gets converted, and the inverter is what it allows to invert it from direct current to alternating current. Okay, So that's what Inphase does. They make inverters. They also make generators and additional power, independent power. Okay? So what that means is if stuff continues to heat up like this, people are going to want to be energy independent. Okay? Also, if you understand what's going on in the energy sector, the presidential administration is saying that at the end of this year, there's not going to be any more tax breaks for people that go solar. Okay, so right now what's happening is a lot of people this year most likely are going to start going solar. You see what I'm saying? And so if more people go solar this year, and it's also the summertime, which means that way more people go solar in the summertime than in the wintertime, what that means for this stock is they can see an increase in their stock price. Okay, so that's Inphase. The next one is going to be First Solar. Ticker symbol is FSLR. Look at this stock. Look at this chart. Same thing. On Friday, it blasted off. Why? Over the last week, it's up 5%. Okay? It blasted off. And why did it blast off? The same reason. Okay? The same reason that Inphase blasted off. First Solar doesn't make generators or inverters, but it blasted off because it's in the energy sector. Okay? Energy stocks are going to go up if this stuff continues to heat up in the Middle East. And if it cools down, they're going to start coming down. Okay? And then the last stock I'm going to give you guys is going to be Lockheed Martin, which is going to be ticker symbol LMT. And this is a defense company. And what happens is basically if there's an increased need, right? It's all supply and demand, y'all. If there's an increased need for defense things, Lockheed Martin is going to be right there. Okay? And their stock is going to be going up. So if things continue to heat up over the next, let's just say this week, things heat up, we can see Lockheed go crazy. We can see all the oil stocks go crazy. We can see energy stocks start to go up, especially the energy stocks that are beat down. Okay? Especially the energy stocks that are beat down. Okay? Now, if you start to get deeper into this stuff and you start to look at the charts and look at the actual technicals of the company, you're going to see, not the fundamentals, but the technicals, and look at the charts, you're going to start to see why these stocks are going to go up or why they shot up so fast over the past 2 to 3 days. Okay? So right now over the weekend, there's more news coming out about what's going on in the Middle East and what's going on with the war, right? Countries are attacking other countries. They're striking back, which means that there's increasing the tension. If that happens, these stocks are going to go up. These stocks will go up. The energy sector, the oil sector, and the defense sector. Those stocks will go up. So if you don't like these companies, go research some more companies in those sectors and start to pay attention to the correlation between what's going on in the actual market, okay, the stock market, and also the world, right, from a global perspective. Because the understanding what's going on with the world and globally, and then understanding how that affects certain sectors inside of the stock market, that's how you can start to really find some very easy stocks to invest and trade into. Okay, so you could flip your money in a very short period of time by understanding what's going on. So as these stocks are rising, okay, as these stocks are rising, what's going to happen? As this stuff is going on in the world, right, these stocks are going to rise. Now, if it starts to die down, let's say this goes on for another 2 weeks, we could have a run up with these stocks, but when it starts to die down, oil prices drop, what's going to happen? Oil stocks are going to drop, and then you can ride puts to the downside, right? This is how you make money and you build your wealth in the stock market. You be informed and you understand the correlation between what's going on politically and globally, and how that's affecting the market and the sectors, and then you make calculated decisions and you make those moves. All right, so I wanted to really make this bite-sized, and I wanted to ensure that you guys really understood what's going on. So tomorrow night we gonna see where futures open up at. We could get a gap up, we could get a gap down, but you want to pay attention to what's going on over the weekend globally, okay? And then see where those commodities are at, and then we see if we're gonna still be going up in these sectors or if we're not. Okay, so like I always say, make sure you get up out of your head, go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right, and also remember, the more you study, the less you worry. All right, I'm gonna see you guys on the next video. Peace.